Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Let's Go Sportsball Podcast. I'm your host, Owen with Ron, and to put bluntly,
he's dead inside. Okay. Okay. It's enough. You're gonna cause yourself to bleed or give yourself a. Get your head up
get
here.
your hands off of me.
I'll bring you some.
Yeah, so we're outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, for once I've decided to go outside.
It's a good day. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of hot out, and I'm in a hockey sweater, but you know,
Yeah. Well,
I'll find a way to survive. So, yeah. So, we tried to record a little, like I think on Tuesday, and it didn't work. So,
Sunday, yeah.
Yeah. So here we are.
hopefully
But,
it works again.
Yeah. So, first video since the NFL draft, which we tried and mostly failed to live stream. God, we are not good at this.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the live stream was pretty fun, even though it got cut for some reason. Had a good time doing that. And yeah, so we got a lot of stuff to talk about, but something we don't have a lot to talk about is the MLB. I don't think do we have like anything
I got a few things. So the Reds have optioned closer Alexis Diaz to AAA. He has a 12 earned run average ERA.
Your mom's got your chocolate milk ready for you.
Really?
Thanks, Eddie. But he's had a 12 ERA earned run average after giving up 5 earned runs yesterday to the Cardinals. And that's yesterday as of this recording.
But in better news, we have chocolate milk, so you know. I'd say that's pretty good because hey, look, I'm a big boy. I need my chalky milk.
Another thing that I've got is the Los Angeles Dodgers. As I hit my microphone.
What'd that microphone do to you? You bought it. Poor thing.
The Dodgers have announced that Tyler Glasnow has been placed on the 15-day injured list. So, I think is going to hurt them quite a bit, but not as much. Well, I wouldn't say as much as this one. It's still quite a bit.
Yeah.
But the Yankees, Aaron Boone, says he is taking Devin Williams out of the closer role for now. Luke Weaver is expected to get more of the opportunities, so we'll see how that works out. I mean, they've been doing a pretty darn good job. So
yeah,
they haven't been too.
Unfortunately.
Yeah,
I don't think either of us are happy about that. So
not really.
So the NBA playoffs are well underway. Already a few eliminations. With those eliminations in the first round, we're not going to be talking about the plans.
Not yet.
So, in the first round of the NBA playoffs, the eliminations have been the Heat being snuffed out by the Cavs. What up?
Sweet, baby. Sweet.
And then the Orlando Magic being taken out by the Boston Celtics 4-1. Then the Pacers beat the Bucks 4-1.
Yeah, Cleveland's got the Pacers.
Yeah, OKC swept the Grizzlies.
They ain't fine in the West.
No, sir. Minnesota beat the Los Angeles Lakers.
LeBron James is 2-12 in the last playoff series, or the last time he's gone to the playoffs.
Careful, the LeBron sexuals are probably going to get mad at you.
Yeah.
So it's possible that we have just watched LeBron's last game, but we'll have to see because I've been hearing that. I've been hearing that a lot recently that he's probably gone after this year, but we'll have to see.
We'll have to see.
We'll have to see. So yeah, outside of that, I mean, what do you have for the NBA? Because I think I had something. Wait,
I've got a couple things.
Okay, well,
it's been hard with a lot of different things. So, one thing is for me that I've got is Atlanta has fired their general manager.
Yeah.
And I believe already earlier today, I think they said there was news that they had found a new general manager. I'm not too entirely sure. That'll be for another time. But Milwaukee Bucks and general manager John Horst have agreed to a multi-year contract extension. So that one is going to be huge. He has done a great job. He's reached a new deal. Let's see. The Bucks have made the playoffs in all 8 of Horst's seasons as GM and have a .647 win percentage, second best in the NBA during the span, per ESPN research. Horst, 42, started in basketball operations roles in Milwaukee and Detroit before being promoted to Bucks GM in 2017.
Yeah.
So that's a huge move for them, which is good.
Also, speaking of general managers, probably the most unpopular man in all of Dallas, Nico Harrison, was recently in an interview where a reporter essentially asked him, why shouldn't you be fired? Which is a standard question for a guy that basically got rid of their franchise face because he's an idiot. And he basically said, I think I've done a really good job here. And he also said that he didn't know how much Luka meant to the fan base. And I don't exactly remember who said it, but I remember hearing somebody say, I need to know Luka, I need to know Nico's plug because bro is on another planet. And whoever his plug is, that man is getting hooked up with some good stuff because you didn't know that.
You didn't know.
That's like saying, well, as general manager of the Edmonton Oilers, I just traded Connor McDavid for freaking Nick Paul, and I mean, I didn't know how much he meant to the Oilers. Like, what? Please. Are you high? So yeah, Nico, count your days, buddy.
So going back to the playoffs, I know that Milwaukee Bucks have been eliminated from the playoffs by the Pacers in a 4-1 series win. However, I think this is maybe the reason why they had lost.
Yeah.
They did not have Damian Lillard. He was diagnosed with a torn left Achilles tendon that I believe he suffered in Game 4. And he did not play for the last game. So I think that might have been what hurt him pretty badly. Not saying that Dame carries the team, but
yeah, no, that's more Giannis.
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
A little bit of both. Some other breaking news.
Oh, I saw this.
Shaquille O'Neal, has agreed to become the men's basketball general manager of Sacramento State.
That's crazy.
So he also Shaquille O'Neal, who is his son.
Oh, I was about to say Shakir. You mean Shaquille? But no, that's
also plays for Sacramento State under Mike Bibby. Bibby, something like that. Shaq and Bibby form a star duo as college GM and coach.
That's pretty cool, actually.
So that'll be fun. Another one.
Let's just hope he turns out to be a better, executive than Michael Jordan was for the Hornets.
But
God.
Speaking of, let's stay in this city of Sacramento. The Sacramento Kings and interim coach Doug Christie are finalizing a multi-year contract to make Christie the franchise's next head coach.
Ooh.
So apparently Doug Christie's agent negotiated a new deal for the Kings full-time job this week. Sacramento went 27-24 this season under Christie, ranking 9th in offensive efficiency during the span and going 13-10 in clutch time games compared to 6-13 earlier in this campaign. Kings hired Scott Perry as their GM and now make decision on next head coach. So that's going to be fun. Here's something I want to get your opinion. The NBA is considering USA versus World format for All-Star games.
So basically the Four Nations, but just USA
it's
versus
just USA
everyone else.
Versus whoever else.
I don't know about that.
So if you look at it, potential Team USA players: Stephen Curry, Anthony Edwards, Jason Tatum, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Bam Adebayo, Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker, Jaylen Brown, Jimmy Butler. Oh God,
do we have to just name all of them, or just like?
But okay. those are just a few. Those are just some.
Durant.
But
you know who I am.
But there's also potential team. These are potential Team World players, which would be like Luka Doncic, SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Jokic, Wembayama. There's a whole bunch of others that they could go with. But I think it's I don't know how to feel on this.
It's an interesting idea. It is kind of drawing from the Four Nations in a way. I mean, like not as much, but I mean, I mean, with how bad the All-Star game was, I feel like they're kind of like, okay, look, we really gotta do something because this just ain't gonna cut it.
Yeah, it's not doing too well.
So moving on to the. Oh wait, actually, before we move on, just one more funny thing. So,
oh gosh,
just a fun fact: the Dallas Mavericks, their season ended 77 days after trading Luka.
Yeah.
Ironic.
Yeah, how ironic is that?
So,
I got one more basketball. I forgot about this.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to NCAA now. Cooper Flagg, arguably the greatest player this past season, arguably, has declared for the 2025 NBA draft. He announced that about a few weeks ago, but
who do you think he's going to?
It's hard to say. I feel like some teams would try and trade up, but at the same time, I would have to look and see what I believe they're going to have to do. I believe they've done the draft lottery now. I would have to see who's got number one. I would say he's going number one.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
All right, well, moving on to the NHL, there's been a lot of stuff going on, but first things first that I want to mention, there have been a couple retirements, as Logan Couture, former captain of the San Jose Sharks, has officially announced his retirement from professional hockey at the age of 36. He's doing so due to injuries, and that's going to be a tough loss for San Jose. I mean, he's been such a great leader for them for a very, very long time. I mean, he took over the mantle after Jumbo Joe and Joe Pavelski. So, that kind of breaks the Joe curse. Yeah. It kind of just gets all the Joes out of the way. But, I mean, he was a great player in his heyday. He could score a lot. I mean, Game 7 against Vegas, he did fantastic.
I'm good for now.
He did so good. And then another player that has recently announced his retirement is Valtteri Filppula, Lightning legend. Is also announcing his retirement. He played for the Detroit Red Wings, where he won a cup with them back in 2008. Played for the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Philadelphia Flyers, and the New York Islanders. He spent the remainder of his career playing in Europe, and he is now retiring after 1,056 NHL games.
That is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he was a great player.
He was.
Again, a Lightning legend, which is all that matters.
Another Lightning legend, but also, likewise,
Blue Jackets legend.
A Blue Jackets legend. David Savard. He is announcing his retirement. He didn't play as many games as
Filppula.
Filppula, thank you. He didn't play as many games. He only played 870 NHL games. He also won a Stanley Cup. I believe it was with...
Yes, it was with Tampa Bay back in 2021. He actually assisted on the game-winning goal because I remember he was at the right wall, and then I think he tried to make a pass or a shot in front, and then it got tipped in by Colton. So yeah, I mean he may not have had like as big of an impact as other players, but he is still officially retiring. He said he was going to retire after the postseason, but with the Montreal Canadiens losing, but we'll get to them later. That has made it is official. He is going to be retiring.
The teams that he's played for is obviously, like we mentioned, the two teams, Columbus Blue Jackets and Tampa Bay Lightning, but he also played with Montreal.
Yeah, so. He went to Montreal pretty much like the year after he won a cup with Tampa.
So moving to the other side, that God, I had something.
You good? Okay.
Moving to the other side, Carolina Hurricanes and Taylor Hall have signed an extent. You're gonna have to take that.
Yeah,
one.
I got you. Taylor Hall, forward for the Carolina Hurricanes, has been re-signed to a 3-year deal. It's not showing how much he got signed for, but
at least he signed.
Yeah, but I think this is a decent move. I mean, Taylor Hall, he's been pretty good for Carolina. I mean, unlike Rantanen, he's actually worked out pretty well for them so far.
That's good.
I don't think he's necessarily he isn't exactly what he was in New Jersey yet, but I'm sure he'll get back to that point.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, especially since he did just win a playoff series But again, we'll get to that later. So moving on.
I had a few breaking for coaches.
Yeah, I had one too. I'm trying to find it.
I think you're in the wrong.
No. Oh, yeah. Hang on. So you go ahead and get to what you had to say.
So the first one that I've got is that the Seattle Kraken have fired their head coach, Dan Bylsma, after just one season.
Yeah, I don't blame them. I mean, Seattle had a really bad season this year. I mean, nobody was developing well. I mean, Shane Wright has promised, but as of right now, it's hard to tell. So
still needs to work.
Yeah, and I mean, Dan just wasn't really the right coach for the job. I've seen people be like, "Oh no, maybe it's maybe it's this person's fault, that person's fault." But at the end of the day, Vegas, this team is not. So
no.
Yeah. Another pretty big. Some other pretty big news is the New York Rangers officially firing head coach Peter Laviolette. Now, this is going to be kind of tough to say because, I mean, he did lead them to the President's Trophy the previous year, but also they did have this year, and I'm not going to lie, I do feel like this was the right move. Right? I understand that, yeah, he did get them the President's Trophy, but with how this year was just rife with drama, there was so much tension between him and players, and he was basically like making it so that pretty much everybody hated him. Like Cooley hated him, Kakko hated him, Lafreniere, there was tension between him and Laffy. I mean, a lot of players were very just angry with him, so I feel like this is the right move to make, and there's been a lot of rumors. I've heard that Mike Sullivan might be going there. Speaking of Mike Sullivan, he has also lost his job with the Pittsburgh Penguins, which has kicked him off the list of the longest tenured coaches in the NHL currently, with number one being John Cooper for the Lightning.
Okay.
After 10 seasons, the Penguins have announced that they're moving on, and frankly, I do understand why this is. I mean, the Penguins have been an absolute mess over the past few years. They've been really bad. Goaltending's been terrible. Everything's been terrible, and so I feel like moving on from Sully, it's not a bad idea, especially considering the fact that again, he was a good coach he was brought in at the right time, but at the end of the day, it wasn't meant. He wasn't going to be there forever.
Needed to be done.
Yeah, again, especially after that terrible year that they had. I'm very curious to see where he goes, who Pittsburgh decides to pick up next. But I've been hearing that Sullivan could end up going to New York. Whether or not that's the right idea, I will not say.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if he's necessarily what they need. I've heard that John Tortorella might be going back to New York because he coached them for a while. And I think that could actually be a pretty interesting, a pretty good move because I mean the team definitely needs to not suck.
Yeah.
And Tortorella, he isn't the best coach, but I mean he's a very snippy guy, but he demands the best from you, and so at the end of the day, I feel like that might be the best move, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see.
Vancouver Canucks and Rick Tocchet.
Rick Tocchet.
Close enough. He will not return as the head coach for Vancouver. The 61-year-old just completed the final season of a 3-year contract. The Canucks owned a club option for 25-26, but the team announced last week that it chose to not exercise it.
Yeah, I mean, I do kind of get that because, like with New York, I mean, Vancouver's had an extremely bad season compared to last year. I mean, with all the smoke and drama throughout the organization, with JT Miller and Elias Pettersson hating each other, and Rick Tocchet's coaching style just not working with the team as well as it did before. Yeah. I will say that was a good idea. I mean, at this point, I know exactly what they need to do. They need to bring back Rick Bowness. They need Barbecue Bruce. They need Barbecue Bruce back. Because if they do not bring back Bruce Boudreau, I am going to cry. I'm going to be upset because my man he got screwed over so hard by that team. Like, they literally were like, oh, by the way, Bruce, we're firing you. So go out into the press and talk about how happy you are. And he's just like, no brisket in the world's going to make me feel better after this. Some other news. Lindy Ruff, speaking of coaches, has not been fired, but he has finally earned his 900th NHL win as a coach with Buffalo.
What?
I don't know how you win with Buffalo, but good on you.
That was just my stop. Just congratulate. What?
It's a joke. It's a joke, is what it is. And also going back to Vancouver, some huge news regarding Quinn Hughes, their captain. According to Jim Rutherford, the GM, he has basically said that it may not boil down to money with Quinn, and that he stated before that he wants to play with his brothers Jack and Luke in New Jersey.
I would love to see
So that is huge news.
It is
huge news. So the big question is, what is Vancouver gonna do? Do you think that they're gonna try to do you think that Quinn is gonna be packing his bags for New Jersey, or do you think they're gonna pull some Nico Harrison devil magic and bring Quinn over to and bring both Jack and Luke over to Vancouver? What do you think?
I could see it going either way. I see them trying to at least trade away. Is it Quinn? Yeah, Quinn. Yeah. I could see them trying to trade away Quinn to get him to go play over in New Jersey, but there's not very many. I don't know how many players would be on his level to trade or draft picks. The amount of draft picks they need.
Yeah. So, plus, also considering how New Jersey, they when it comes down to it, they are not going to be wanting to part ways with Jack because he's a superstar on that team and he's a great player, and Luke is a young developing guy he's working out well so far. He's still a rookie, so we'll have to see, but so we're definitely gonna have to see with him, but I predict that Quinn could be heading over to New Jersey, and if those three, I'm just imagining those three together would be, oh my god, if you have Luke and Quinn on the back end, and then you have Jack up front. That could be a pretty lethal. That could be pretty lethal.
That's gonna be huge.
We're gonna have to see. Some other news: Lou Lamoriello, the general manager for the Isles, is going to be parting ways with the organization, and that's also some pretty big news. But
well,
yeah. So I do kind of get it because he's pretty well known for being kind of not doing anything at trade deadlines. He's kind of been known to be nah, I'm not gonna do anything. He got one or two players and that's it. So good on him, I guess. Also speaking of the Islanders,
Clutterbuck. Cal Clutterbuck.
Cal Clutterbuck has announced his retirement from professional hockey at the age of 37.
You retired before. He retired before Alex Ovechkin did.
It's crazy, but yeah. So he was a pretty good player. I think he's one of the highest hitters in the NHL. So good on him.
I guess.
Yeah, I guess you just. Ow. Well, I'm wearing a Flyer sweater. Okay, I am allowed to be physically abusive towards you. Oh. So I'll be honest, this next part does kind of make me mad. So the Anaheim Ducks have fired their head coach Greg Cronin. Now I'm not gonna crap on them for that because I think it's the right move. Greg Cronin was not the right move, but it's who they want to replace him with that I'm upset by. And they are looking to bring in Joel Quenneville as their next head coach. And here's the thing, okay? Joel Quenneville, he's a good coach. He won 3 cups with Chicago. He's pretty good, and he has he's been able to take teams that have been really bad in the past and make them contenders. That's not my problem. My problem is that he does not deserve to have another NHL job after what happened. So I'm not going to get too deep into it because it is a very, very messed up situation. If you don't know, he helped cover up the terrible actions taken against former Blackhawks players Kyle Beach and another unknown player. I'm not going to get too deep into it because it is a very explicit subject. It involves pretty nasty stuff. So So again, not going to talk about it. If you want to learn more about that, then do your own research. But viewer discretion is advised on that. It's a very dark situation. So my issue is that Coach Q, I don't see how he can go back into a locker room and get the respect of the players after the fact that he covered up all that terrible stuff that happened to those players. As a coach, you need to have the respect of your players in order to be taken seriously, because if you're not, then you're just going to tell your players, hey, do this, that, or the other, and they're going to be like, nah, screw you. And because if they have the respect, then, players are going to be more willing to open up and listen to your ideas. But Coach Q, hockey's a brotherhood, all right? That cannot be denied. Mm-hmm. And this kind of thing is... Players shouldn't have to tolerate that.
Yeah.
Like, I know if I was a player and I had that guy on my behind the bench, I would be like, no, I'm not listening to you. He had insider knowledge about the entire situation, did nothing to help the player, did nothing to report it, just was like, okay, fine, whatever, and stuff like that. So I don't think he should get hired, and if he does, then I don't think he should be surprised if the players just don't have respect for him.
Yeah, it's not going to be surprising.
So that's just my opinion.
We'll see how it goes with that.
Yeah.
Going on to
also Alex Georgiev is not getting re-signed by the Sharks, which makes sense because he sucks, and Neil Pionk is getting signed to a 6-year, $7 million deal because he's pretty good. All right, continue now.
Moving on to the playoffs, we've got some eliminations, and some of the games are still going on. So, in the Eastern Conference, Toronto leads Ottawa. Hate to say that. It's 3-2 in the series. Unfortunately, the Battle of Florida is over. Florida beat Tampa Bay 4-1. Sorry, buddy. Washington beat Montreal 4-1. Washington beat Montreal 4-1, and Carolina Hurricanes have beat New Jersey 4-1.
Yeah.
Now that series,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah, so just looking at the teams that have been eliminated, I mean, Tampa Bay, I'm still bummed about that. I mean, it was such a giant series with so much violence. I mean,
you got your wish on somebody getting it suspended.
There was like ref puck involved a lot. Like, how do you not call a penalty on Ekblad for that blatant hit to the head? I mean, they're like, oh, well, that's what you get when you hit our captain. Okay, well, buddy, there's a difference between trying to get revenge and straight up trying to murder somebody, okay? So shut up, Cats fans. You guys, half of you guys probably weren't even fans until they were good. So, get back on your little bandwagon. So then you have Washington and Montreal. I mean, I don't blame Montreal. I can't get mad at them for that. I mean, because this is their first time making it in 4 years. And they did well with what they had. I mean, Caulfield was good, Suzuki was good, but I don't even blame them for getting gentlemen swept. All right, they just happened to run into a machine.
Yeah.
And then Carolina and New Jersey. I watched Game 5, and that was just a mess for New Jersey. I mean, their passing was off. They couldn't make entries into the zone during both overtimes. I think they counted in like 3 shots on goal for both overtimes, while Carolina registered like 15 or so. I mean, Markstrom was basically carrying that team on his back, and then Aho ended up getting a one-timer, and I remember seeing after he got it, Markstrom brought his stick up as if he's gonna throw it at one of his teammates.
He was about to throw it.
I think he broke it against the pipe, and then he turned. It looked like he was about to throw it at one of his defenders. He was like, you know what? I can't.
Yeah, he was about to throw it down ice.
I mean, I don't blame him, because I mean the New Jersey defense just gave up on him. They basically hung him out to dry. And Markstrom, he's been a great goaltender for New Jersey, but at the end of the day, man, you can't leave your team out to dry. You can't leave your tendy out to dry like that, because he can't do everything.
As we look at the Western Conference, starting at the top, Winnipeg is still is ahead of the St. Louis Blues, 3-2 in the series. Dallas is ahead of Colorado 3-2 in the series. Vegas is ahead of Minnesota 3-2 in the series, and Edmonton is ahead of Los Angeles Kings 3-2 in the series.
LA, you're blowing it.
What? I'm sorry, but what in the world is going on? There's only one close game in the East, and every other game in the West, or every game in the West, is a close game.
Yeah,
What is going on?
The Winnipeg and St. Louis series has been insane. I mean, like, Hellebuck got pulled a couple of times.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. I mean, what the heck?
I think Minnesota had Andre Fleury out for a while.
Minnesota.
Had Fleury out for a while, and then they brought him in late in the game. So it's going to be a crazy series out of the Western Conference.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to win that. Eastern Conference, I'm still calling for me. I'm calling Washington.
I just really, really hope that they do not pull a Markstrom and just let their goalies get peppered out there, because if they do, then because I mean, if Winnipeg lets that happen to Hellebuck, then they are cooked. But I mean, they have the President's Trophy, so I think they are still cooked. But I mean, the LA and Edmonton series, LA is falling apart. I mean, they had a 2-0 series lead, and now they're blowing it. So
yeah, it ain't working out too well.
My predictions are already dying, because I predicted it was going to be Tampa Bay and LA in the finals, and Tampa Bay is out, and now LA is rotting in the ground. What is happening? You know what? At least my blood pressure is no longer going to be through the roof for these games. Because you know what? I at this point I just don't care. I spent all night crying in the middle of the woods.
So
let's talk about the info.
The NFL, as well as other ones. A few weeks ago, many of you may have seen it, but Lee Corso has officially announced his retirement from game day. College game day is not going to be the same without him. Thank you, Lee Corso, for all that you've done.
And for the weird hats that you used to wear. Like the mascot
the
mascot
heads.
masks.
So, speaking of the mascot heads, or the headgear, I've got the top 5 most picked schools that he has chosen. At number 5 is the Oregon Ducks. He has chosen them 21 times. At number 4 is the Florida Gators, only one spot ahead of him, with 22 times that he has picked them.
Ew.
LSU Tigers at number 3 with 25 times that he has picked them. Alabama at number 2 with 38 times.
Those cannot be. Those must be like blazing hot.
Oh, they probably are.
I mean, they probably have like little fans, because like I go to conventions sometimes because I'm a nerd with no life. And a lot of times when you have the guys who do the Star Wars ones with like the 501st, a lot of times those dudes will have like little fans inside of their like helmets and masks and stuff like that. So that's probably what they have going on. At least I hope so.
At number 1 is the Ohio State University. Number 1, he has picked them 45 times, including the first time he ever put on a headgear was at Ohio State back in 1996.
I'm sorry, but what the hell is your mascot?
It's a Buckeye.
That's a
It's a Buckeye.
It looks like
It's a Buckeye.
It looks like an Amish guy with it's like the hair is just a whole circle. It looks like some weird crackhead I'd make on like a Mii on my Switch.
Don't hate.
I am hating because you're annoying.
Don't hate because you ain't the national champ.
Buddy, your basketball team is more irrelevant than the team I'm wearing.
You could
Look. Tennessee was better at basketball. Your team is better at being gay. I mean, being a football team.
watch your mouth.
I'm not homophobic, I swear. I'm just... Anyway, so yeah, that's gonna be a tough lot. I mean, he was awesome for college football.
I'd say Pat McAfee could take over. He's the only one that has the same amount of energy.
McAfee is a silly goose.
So, we talked about how we tried to go live
Yep.
on the NFL draft. Let's recap from the 32 of the first round, because that's what mainly people watch, is the first round.
So obviously, first overall, this was no surprise to anybody. Cam Ward, goaltender for the Hurricanes, went first overall. Ow. I remember I sent you that.
I know.
The actual Cam...
And I seen it,
well,
too.
Yeah, the actual Cam Ward, like the goaltender, I mean, for the Hurricanes, actually made a video on his Instagram. It was like, yo, did I just get picked? Okay, bet. And then second overall... So, funny story there. Cleveland traded down to the 5th pick and Jacksonville selected Travis Hunter, which is no surprise. I mean, man.
Everybody knew he was going second.
Yeah.
So
Then the New York Giants selected Abdul Carter, 3rd overall. Will Campbell, 4th overall for the Patriots. I think,
that could
man,
help,
dude,
but-
the Patriots are going to be scary with him on their O-line. I mean, that man in his post-draft interview, bro was basically said, "I'm not going to let anybody touch Drake May." So I'm just like, and that guy is huge. So just like imagine you're like, your average little defender. You're like, oh gosh, gee willikers, I'm going to go try to get Drake May, and then you see the Jolly Green Giant over here coming over and absolutely cronwalling you into like 5 seconds back.
It's called a pancake.
Look, man, cronwalling is more... Okay, fine. And you just get absolutely pancaked
Pancaked. There you
5
go.
sections back. Are you happy, Ron?
Yes.
No, you're not. Because,
Moving on to pick
because
number
your
5.
team traded down. So, speaking of your team trading down, the number 5th spot... Number 5th? The number 5 spot, the Cleveland Cleveland Browns selected Mason Graham. Hit your uncle. He said that first. Mason Graham.
Not my uncle.
So, your cousin, same thing. Who cares? So, what are your thoughts on this pick for Mason Graham? What are your thoughts?
It's a great move. I'm glad that we got another defensive tackle on there. Hopefully, it'll help out on the line where they need him to be at. But at the same time, we could have had a great wide receiver and cornerback if we would have stayed where we were at. But
yeah,
I think it's still a great move that we got Mason Graham.
He got very mad. Like, I don't know. It didn't get on the live stream, but he ended up throwing his hat and throwing a tantrum, and I was like,
We'll talk about the later on pick that y'all got.
Hey, I'm happy with ours now. So, number 6, at the number 6 spot, the Las Vegas Raiders. Oh my God, I actually said it right this time.
Yes.
Selected Ashton Genty. They are they are scary.
They needed him.
Yeah. Then at the number 7 spot, the New York Jets selected Armand Membo. Have you always been an offensive tackle?
Okay.
Membo. Django Unchained.
Yeah.
I've never seen that movie. Is it any good?
I don't even know. Moving on.
Oh. I don't know. All right. Then at the number 8 spot, the Carolina Panthers selected Tedairoa McMillan, wide receiver. Honestly,
Better than I did last time.
I think that's a great move. I think that's a really, really good move. I mean,
they needed a wide receiver like badly.
Yeah, and that's more offensive firepower for Bryce Young, who's really starting to come into his own.
Hopefully he'll get a little bit better.
Yeah, because I honestly do like the Panthers.
CJ Stroud is still doing better than him.
Yeah, I gotta say I really like the Panthers uniforms. Theirs, not the Florida Panthers. Screw those guys.
Yeah, I was about to say, watch what you're saying.
Their logo is literally just like a garbage MLS logo.
Number 9.
Anyway, a number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip, a number 7, 2 number 45s, 1 with cheese, and a large soda. What? I'm hungry. Anyway, so GTA San Andreas jokes aside, at number 9, the New Orleans Saints selected Kelvin Banks Jr., offensive tackle. Then at number 10, the Bears selected Colston Loveland. Honestly, a good pick.
It's not bad. It's a good pick for
tight end. Then at number 11, the San Francisco 49ers selected Michael Williams, edge rusher. And at number 12, America's favorite team to laugh at goes, how about them Cowboys? Selected Tyler Booker. Why was I about to say Devin Booker? That's the wrong freaking sport.
Wrong one, bud.
Dang it! You know what? He's gonna be a great left winger on a for the bullpen of the Cowboys, and he's gonna lead them to numerous Green Jackets. Go Sportsball!
Alrighty.
Anyway, so number 13 spot, the Miami Dolphins selected Kenneth Grant, defensive
Not bad
tackle.
move.
Yeah,
could have gone elsewhere, but
yeah. Then number 14, the Indianapolis Colts selected Tyler Warren, tight end. Then number 15, the Atlanta Falcons selected Jalen Walker, edge rusher. Number 16 spot, the Arizona Cardinals selected Walter Nolan.
That's not a bad one.
And Ron will take over from here.
Number 17, Cincinnati Bengals, who are part of Kentucky.
Shut up! I will punch you in the arm.
They picked Shamar Stewart, an edge rusher. At number 18, the Seattle Seahawks selected Gray Zabel.
I like that move, actually.
I'm sorry, but why would you name your son after a color? I don't know.
Red from that 70s show?
Okay. At number 19, your
Tampa Bay Buccaneers, baby.
chose Ohio State great Emeka Egbuka
Okay.
at wide receiver.
I'll be
you
honest.
were mad at this at first.
Yeah, I was upset because I was like, we need a linebacker or a cornerback. But looking at it, it was scary at first. But then, you have, whoa, sorry, real quick. The New York Rangers are in advanced contract talks to make Mike Sullivan the head coach. Why? And it's expected to be one of the richest coaching contracts in NHL history.
Had to go back to that because that's breaking news.
No, they need torts for the memes. But anyway, looking at this move, first I hated it, but then I'm like, okay, well, looking at it, Mike Evans is still in his early 30s, and Godwin, he's still coming off of an injury, so there's a possibility he might not be as good. So I think getting youth in the wide receiver core is good. And also, we did draft a damn good cornerback in the second round.
Yes.
So I'm excited. I am very excited.
And we'll
for
get
next
on
season.
Let's
go Bucks.
We'll get on to a little bit of the second round and third round, other rounds as well. We'll talk a little bit about it. On the 20th round.
There are not that many rounds run.
In the 20th pick,
there you go.
Denver Broncos selected Jahdae Barron. 21, Pittsburgh Steelers picked Derek Harmon.
Yep.
22.
I know your name True is very, very happy about that.
Yeah. At 22, the Los Angeles Chargers selected Omarion Hampton. At 23, the Green Bay Packers, for the first time since 2002, selected a wide receiver in Matthew Golden. I think it's a great move.
Awesome move for
it's a great
for
move.
them. That's making them
first time
deadly.
first time in the first round that they have selected a wide receiver since 2002, which is crazy.
Yeah, and Green Bay went crazy for that.
Oh
That crowd pop was wild, man.
And then the guy even fueled it even more.
Oh, yeah. That's like the one good thing Roger Goodell's ever done.
Well, yeah. 24 went to the Minnesota Vikings. Donovan Jackson is who they picked, a guard. At 25, the New York Giants selected Jackson Dart. That is via a trade from Houston.
I think that's a decent move for New York.
At 26, via a trade from the Los Angeles Rams, the Atlanta Falcons selected James Pierce Jr.
from your University of Tennessee. Go Vols and stuff.
27 went to the Baltimore Ravens.
Dude, calm down. Every team's better than yours.
They chose Malachi Starks. At 28, the Detroit Lions should have been Super Bowl champions, in my opinion. They were great last year. They went with Tyleek Williams. 29, the Washington Commanders went Josh Connerly Jr. At 30, the Buffalo Bills went with Maxwell Hairston. And at 31, via a trade between the two spots, between Philadelphia and Kansas City, at 31, via Kansas City, the Philadelphia Eagles selected Jihad Campbell. And at 32, Kansas City selected Josh Simmons via a trade from Philadelphia.
I actually really like the move by Philly here.
Not bad.
Because they did have a need at linebacker since one of theirs ended up retiring. So I think that's a pretty good move by them. I think that's something that they definitely needed to do.
So let's go through the grades a little bit. How Rob Rangs from NFL on Fox has said how they graded them. At the bottom, Miami Dolphins with a D+.
Yeah, I kind of get that.
After that is the Cleveland Browns with C-. Understandable.
Then the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have a B minus. I mean, yeah, I got that. I got that. Oh, I thought it was this way, this way, this
it's
way.
up.
My bad. I read
It's
it
up.
wrong.
So he
I
went
read it
ahead.
wrong.
So
my bad.
Going up from the Cleveland Browns being at C minus, the Minnesota Vikings and Los Angeles Rams both got a C. Indianapolis Colts, Denver Broncos, San Francisco 49ers, and Atlanta Falcons got a C plus. The Jets, Buccaneers, Jaguars, Lions, Cowboys,
How about the
Panthers, and Cardinals all got a B minus. New Orleans Saints, Washington Commanders, Tennessee Titans, Pittsburgh Steelers, Los Angeles Chargers, Green Bay Packers, Cincinnati Bengals all got a B. Houston Texans got a B plus. Philadelphia, New York Giants, New England Patriots, Kansas City, Chicago Bears, and Baltimore Ravens
The Bears.
all got an A minus. And then Seattle Seahawks, Las Vegas Raiders, and Buffalo Bills all got an A. Nobody got an A plus.
Yeah.
I think all those grades are pretty.
They're solid.
I think they're good.
Yeah, so getting into other news, Kadarius Toney, two-time Super Bowl champion, is retiring, and you can't make this up. He's taking the Isaiah Wilson route, you know, because that guy was a bust, and he's starting a rap career.
Good luck,
He's starting as Young Joke.
Okay. Jesus. This guy's crazy.
Oh, what an idiot. Okay. Anyway.
But little thing from the draft.
Oh.
We'll get to a couple of signings and all that kind of stuff later after all this. We'll try and wrap it up here shortly.
Because there's a player you might have noticed was missing,
Sure.
if you don't know ball, from the first round. A certain guy named Shador Sanders got selected in the 5th round by this chump. And his
Okay, I
team.
didn't choose him.
Okay, buddy, sure. I know you're drinking buddies with Jimmy Haslam, but
Get out of here.
I know I wouldn't insult you like that because you're a good feller.
So apparently the NFL was, and I say was because they have figured out who it was and everything. So they were investigating a prank call that happened on Shador Sanders. But also, here's another thing. Apparently, that was not the only one.
No way. Wait. I didn't hear about this.
I didn't hear about it either. It turns out that Abdul Carter also got a prank call during the 2nd pick in which the caller said he was from the Jaguars and they were going to select him with the number 2 overall pick.
Wow.
Quote, "It is unfortunate that these private numbers are getting to the people making the prank calls," said Carter's agent, Drew Rosenhaus. "Abdul and I knew it was BS and didn't even tell his family about the call." Moments later, Carter did get the real call from the Giants. So they did find out who it was. The Atlanta Falcons defensive coordinator, Jeff Ulbrich, his son, Jax Ulbrich, was the one that had called Shador Sanders, and who knows, possibly even Abdul Carter. But going back to Shador, he said, and I quote, and we have something here for you. "It didn't really have an impact on me."
Bullcrap alert! Bullcrap alert!
Okay.
Bullcrap alert! Bullcrap alert! Ain't no way it did not have an effect on you. Bro had an entire custom draft party, like a whole room, for him to be picked in the 5th round by a team that's known for making bad quarterbacks.
As I was going to finish up the quote, I feel like it was a child. This is per Shador. "I feel like it was a childish act, but everybody does childish things here and there,
Including your
Speak
dad.
for yourself."
Including your dad. Including you. Excuse me, I think I had something stuck in my throat.
But as of recently, a few days ago, or earlier today, I had something. They did find, however, the Atlanta Falcons $250,000, and they also fined Ulbrich $100,000. So basically, they lost about $350,000
Over a
in
prank
general.
call.
Over somebody not. They said specifically it was because of stuff that went on. But going to a couple signings, first one I've got is that the Eagles are extending Cam Jurgens. They have agreed for a 4-year, $68 million extension.
Yeah.
Speaking of Seattle.
Another really, really big move here. The Tennessee Titans are adding up to their arsenal here in wide receivers by signing Tyler Lockett for
That's huge.
money.
It's
not showing how much, but I think this is a good move. I mean,
That's going to help them out.
I think that's definitely going to be good for their newest quarterback in Cam Ward. I think that's going to help. So
Yep. Former Dolphins free agent defensive end Emmanuel Ogbah is signing a 1-year deal worth up to $5 million with the Jacksonville Jaguars, per his agent.
Also, the Minnesota Vikings are trading for Sam Howell as they swap picks 142 and 172.
That was earlier in the draft. And this one, pretty cool for me. I like it. Browns are signing Deontay Johnson, who is a wide receiver. That should help us out.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's as good as Travis Hunter, but he is a great wide receiver in my opinion.
Yeah. Also, the Buffalo Bills are signing Tre'Davious White, a cornerback, to a 1-year deal with a max value of up to $6.8 million. I think this is a good move for the defense because they've definitely been wanting to build that up going into next year. So
Speaking of the Bills,
I'm stoked to see how that
Speaking
goes.
of the Bills, this hurts me. But Bills are signing former Browns wide receiver Elijah Moore to a 1-year deal worth up to $5 million. Hurts me, but now that we got Deontay Jackson, might help out. Might help out quite a bit. Going up to New York, well, that's a retirement. I'll get to that later. Going to the Vikings, Vikings agree to terms with linebacker Andrew Van Ginkel on a 1-year, $23 million deal. Another great signing, which is huge.
Oh, yeah.
49ers 6-time Pro Bowl tight end George Kittle has signed a 4-year, $76.4 million contract extension. That includes $40 million guaranteed.
That's a lot of money, but I mean, it's worth it. Kittle's a great player. He's definitely works well, so I think this is good.
He is.
And the last one...
I'll let you cover that one.
Oh, you sure? Okay.
Yeah, I'll let you do it.
The Pittsburgh Steelers have signed wide receiver Robert Woods to a 1-year, $2 million deal.
That's only $2 million.
Yeah.
Only 2.
Oh, well. So, is that all the signings you have?
Yes, that is. I do have a retirement that has happened. QB, as of yesterday of this recording, QB Jordan Travis has informed the Jets of his intention to retire.
Wow.
I don't know how good he was. I mean, he's on the Jets. I think he was a backup for a while.
Yeah.
So I
he played
can't
for the
say.
Jets, so it's probably not that good.
But best wishes to you and your family. Good luck on your retirement.
Absolutely.
Speaking of retirements,
So speaking of
somewhat-
retired players specifically, Adrian Peterson, a former NFL running back, ended up getting arrested leaving a Vikings draft day party for a DWI, as he was very drunk apparently after submitting a breath sample on the scene. He blew a .14, and the legal limit in Minnesota is .08.
Well, legal limit everywhere is .08.
Yeah. So have fun with that, buddy.
Yeah, I did find that story. I did find the story about the fines that they did for the Falcons. The NFL fined the Falcons $250,000 and the defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich $100,000 for, quote, failing to prevent the disclosure of confidential information distributed to the club in advance of the NFL draft, end quote. League still is looking into the other draft week prank calls, but it says they are unrelated to the Falcons and Shador. So it's completely out of there. But that's all I've got for the NFL. Oh,
I have one more big thing. So the mayor and the Washington Commanders are reaching a $3 billion deal to bring a new RFK stadium. The team plan to contribute $2.5 billion to building this new beautiful stadium, and the district will provide up to $850 million via News 4. So this is huge news. I mean, FedEx
He's
Field,
done a lot for him.
Yeah, FedEx Field has been very, 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 very neglected, especially thanks to the Dan Snyder era. So I think this is good, and with the Commanders finally coming back to being a decent football team, I mean, a great football team even. Like with them coming back to that kind of form, I think this is great for them and their fans. And of course, it's great because Dan Snyder is going to be crying himself to sleep with a bottle of alcohol at his side. So, everybody's willing to laugh and dance on his grave and all that. So, I think that's all we have. Thank you all very, very much for watching. Before we go, I do want to mention a couple things. First of all, I want to give a quick shout out to a couple of fellow sports peoples. If I can find where the heck I have them, because I had it written down. I definitely recommend Subtle Sports Talk on YouTube. He does some pretty good stuff on the NBA. He does really, really good videos. Good stuff. Also, trying to remember where the other one. I don't remember if he changed the name. But I'm very sorry. I'm trying to find Bailey Berry. I definitely recommend him. He does great videos on. He does video game stuff, and he also does a lot of content about sneakers. He did a great video on the history of shoes in the NBA. Like I did not even know that was. I didn't even know there was such a big history. But you know what? It's the NBA. Shoes are a culture there. So definitely check out Subtle Sports Talk and Bailey Berry. They do great videos. Also, our Spotify is up and running.
We finally got it.
Took us long enough.
After a while of trying to get my computer to work with me and the slow downloads or the slow publishing, finally it is uploaded. We will put our link in not only on YouTube in the description, not in this description, but in our channel description, but also on Instagram.
Definitely follow our Instagram too. We don't really have a lot on there yet, but we're working on it.
We're working. So,
and stuff like that. So
we may have an episode next week. I'm going to be traveling up to Ohio to go see my cousin, so it's going to be a fun one. So we'll keep you posted and everything. Yeah, so, like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. And stuff like that. Please don't show up at our houses for content because that's creepy. And I think there's only one more thing I have to say. Go Sportsball!